Now that we've added the contact page, we're ready to start using some named routes, and we're going to have to define some, but we actually have one already. So let's take a look at the routes file. Here it is. So this line here, the root static pages home, gives us a named route. So let me show you what that means. So where was this link? It's on the site layout. So here it is. Oh, it's in. So it's rendered on the layout, but it's actually in the header. So let's look at the header. There we go. So here is the link to the sample app. We want this to be to the home page, and to this right here, and similarly here. So it turns out that the way Rails works is that if you define the root route like this, you automatically have access to a named route called root path. The way you use it is it's just Ruby, so you can put it in here inside this embedded Ruby and paste it in there. And now let's take a look at our page. Oops, I almost clicked here. It's not going to work though. It's not defined yet. It's about to work. Actually, it would have worked if I'd refreshed the page. So let's inspect it. So you can see here that there's the logo href equals /. That's what root path gives us. Here. There's a closely related helper called root URL. Let me do that and save it and refresh. You can see the only difference is that the root URL is the whole fully qualified URL. So with HTTP and all that stuff. I will generally use path, but when doing redirects, the HTTP standard actually requires a fully qualified URL. So in that context, I'll use the URL named route. But here we can use root path. And now I'd like to define named routes for the other pages here in the routes file. And in the context of making that change, I'm also going to clean up this file considerably. So first of all, we don't need this anymore because we now know how to use root path. Notice the subtle difference. This is the hash sign. This is a / like a separator in URL. So in this context, this is the controller. This is the action. So we're not ever going to use this here. So what I'd like to do is convert these gets in order to have named routes like help path, about path, contact path. And the way to do that is to just give this an argument, like this, and then use the hash rocket. Here, oops, I'm missing a string here, single quote. And I'd like to line these up so they're a little prettier. And at this point, we don't need the rest of the file, so let's just get rid of it. Now you might have noticed that our test suite went red there, and that's because there in fact is an error. This is one of the reasons you have tests. The reason it's failing is because this notation here doesn't take the path like this with a /, but instead follows the same convention that the root route does, the root path here, which is the controller name and then the name of the action. So if we save that, it should be green again. There we go. Great.